Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Darshil and I'm a data engineer. I have been working in this particular field for last 3 to 4 years, and in this particular video I will give you an overview of a project building a near real-time and batch analytics platform for e-commerce store. So we all know different e-commerce websites. So one of the highly used website is Amazon.com in generally India, or if you go to US. Now, how do these platform works? How do these platform make sure that your order gets delivered on time? Everything happens in real time, the prime orders and all of the different things works together to give you final service. They got so many different orders and each and order needs to be processed in timely manner. How do they do that? In this particular video, we will understand the basic architecture behind any e-commerce company. The goal of any data project is to extract value from the data so that business can take decision. So in this particular case, we will be focusing on that. So first, we need to make sure why we are using data and what we will be getting out of it. So these are some of the information we need to focus on. Number one is brand's popularity. So we need to understand which brand people like more so we can invest more time into that particular brand so that our customers are more happy and our profit can also increase. Second is understanding user's journey. That is why after 11 PM the user adds product to the cart but don't buy them in the end. So these are some of the basic information we need to understand. And third is knowing our customers. So how many unique customers we receive per day, top categories per hour on weekdays or weekends. So based on different days or different festival, we can provide the right discount so that our profit can increase and our customers can also get more discount. So if you look at the past system, we did not have any scalability. Now in the case of e-commerce where we have like millions and billions of users, we need to make sure these transaction happens at every second. So whenever a user makes a purchase, we need to make sure that that particular data gets stored in the database, processed properly, and orders should be delivered on timely manner. So these are the small and very important thing that impacts the overall business performance. So consider if we have any festivals, so that particular time our peak of the user will also increase. So we need to make sure our system is scalable. We also need to process our data in near real time. It is really important to process these timely sensitive data because as the time increases, the data loses its value. Because let's say if some user orders one product by today and he wants that product by tomorrow or day after that. Now if we do not process that data immediately, then user might cancel that order and we might lose a valuable customer. So it is really important that these time critical data are processed according to the need of it. So when the new data is inserted into the system, it has the highest value, and as the time progresses, the data starts losing its value. So as we discussed, if you want to take the time critical decisions, you need to make sure you work on the real time or near real time data that you can take actions quickly. And after that near real time or real time data, we have the traditional batch or business intelligence system. This is mainly for historical data. So if you want to analyze last 2 to 3 years of data and what has happened previously, how the business was performing and everything. So if you want to answer those questions, you can work on the batch data. So we have two things. One is just streaming data, or you can say near real-time data that requires timely action. And second is batch data that is more for further analytics for business intelligence to understand how the business were performing in last 2 to 3 years. So let's define the goals and success criteria for the project. So we will have data coming from multiple sources in near real time and also in the batch form. So we need to build an ingestion system. Second is real-time decisions. So whenever we have the new data, we need to make sure we trigger that particular event to process that data and get the final action. Third is building a lakehouse system. So we need to build a data lake that will store all of the data onto centralized repositories so we can easily process it. Then it should be scalable because as the user base increases on any festivals, if we have certain spike, it should be able to scale automatically. Then we will be using cloud because we cannot process this petabytes and terabytes of data on our local computer. So we need to make sure we will be using cloud. In this particular case, we will be using AWS. And at the end, we need to build some reporting system because so at the end, we discussed that business wants to improve itself and they do it by understanding what is happening in the past. So once they get the data for last 2 to 3 years, they can easily understand these things by doing analytics on top of it, building dashboards and everything. So what you will learn in this particular project, okay? First of all, you will learn how to stream data by simulating real-time procedures. So we will build some kind of Python procedure that will give us some real-time data on timely basis. That is, we will be using Amazon Kinesis and Python for that. Second is how to process that incoming stream and creating a triggering mechanism. So build our own data set by using Python. Then we will also create some kind of event mechanism using AWS Lambda and AWS DynamoDB to store these near real-time data. Then we have how to process hourly data in batch layer. So the first two steps were more about processing near real-time data, but after we get the data, we need to make sure that we process this data for final analytics. So this is what we call as a batch layer. So we can basically process our data 2 times a day, 3 times a day based on our requirements. And at the end, we will be building our business layer that is basically called as building dashboards and visualization. For real-time analytics, we will be using Amazon Managed Kafka. For the business intelligence, we will be using Amazon QuickSight. So now this is what the high-level architecture of our system looks like. We have some kind of source system. Then we will have some kind of API or bulk streaming that will pull the data from the source system. Then we will build a data lake that will have the landing area. We will store the raw data. Then we will clean that data, remove the duplicates, and finally build the analytical layer. On top of that, we will make sure it is being processed properly. So we have the processing, data catalog, data store. So these are basically when we have the data onto data lake, we will easily process that. And I will also show you the AWS diagram of it so that you guys can understand this easily. Then at the end, we will have the analytical system, and at the end, we will build the visualization. So this is what our final architecture looks like. Let's go step by step to understand this. So first, we have some kind of e-commerce data stored in our local system. We will use Python, and that is a library called as the Boto3 that is used to interact with the AWS services. So we will use that to upload that particular data onto Kinesis Stream. Now Kinesis Stream is basically a service provided by Amazon so that you can easily process your real-time data. Now after we have our data onto Kinesis Stream, we can easily pass that data to Kinesis Datafire host. Datafire is also one of the Kinesis services that is used for transformation and also storing your data onto some kind of target data set such as S3. So Kinesis Firehost will extract the data from the stream and put that data onto S3 bucket as a raw. Second pipeline we have is once we get the data into stream, we can use Fling, that is the Apache Fling that is used for real-time data analytics. We can analyze this real-time data and pass this data to AWS Glue. AWS Glue is serverless ETL management tool. So if you want to make any transformation after you extract data from the Fling and analyze the data, you can store the transformed data onto S3 bucket. Now this is generally used for the last 2 to 3 years of analytics. So once you have your data from the stream, you will store this transformed data onto S3 bucket, and you will use QuickSight to visualize this data and understand what was happening last 2 to 3 years. So this is called as a batch pipeline. Now to continue with the real-time streaming pipeline, after we get the data into the Fling and analyze our data, we can again pass this data to Kinesis Stream, and after that we can build some kind of events on Lambda function. Lambda function works on different kind of events or triggering mechanisms. So whenever we get any new data available on Kinesis Stream, we can automatically trigger the Lambda function. Lambda function will have some kind of Python code written into it that will push that data onto DynamoDB. So whenever we get any new data, say some new data has arrived in last 2 minutes, we can automatically trigger this Lambda function based on that and store this particular data onto DynamoDB. If you want to send some kind of notification to a customer or a user, you can easily use simple notification service provided by AWS. So if you want to do that, you can also do it, and you can use CloudWatch to monitor what is happening behind the scenes. So this is the entire architecture diagram, what it looks like. Now this particular project is available on ProjectPro website. From entire thing you will get, so you will get a basic business overview, what is data pipeline, the entire data set, then each and every service is what they do. On top of that, you can easily download the methodology, codes and PPTs from that, and there is like detailed video for each and everything. So this is basically 6 to 7 hours of content. So if you want to do this project by yourself and get the hands-on practice, then you can go to ProjectPro and buy the subscription plan to do this project hands-on and build your expertise into data engineering. So I hope you understood this particular project. If you have any doubts, you can comment it out, and if you want to learn more about it, again, make sure you go to projectpro.io and get this project and get started your career into data engineering. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.